Hello, my faithful watchers. How are you today? It's Saturday, and today is the best day ever. So now today we'll be talking about my top 5 fictional favorite female characters. Basically, female characters from comic books, TV shows, or video games, or anything that was fictional related. I consider my top 5 characters, because simply girls are awesome. I like them, and let's talk about them. Okay, so as for my number 5 female character is Alexis Rose from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. As you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is the sequel to the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. It's the first spin-off show, and it's basically Harry Potter, but except instead of doing with magic, they focus on dueling and the children's card game. Yeah, Kaiba, you decided to do something useful with your money. Build a school for children playing card games. However, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is good, to be fair, and there are a lot of good seasons, especially season 3. I would highly recommend that season, as it's probably the best one in there. And so let's go on to Alexis Rose. Now, Alexis Rose was considered the Queen of Obelisk Blue because of her skill, and also because of her beauty. However, what I like about her as a character was because she was kind, since most of the other Obelisk Blues were just snotty and pig-headed, like basically a bunch of Slytherins. What I liked about her was her determination and fire. She wanted to be a good duelist, and she wasn't going to be brought down by some nasty guys. But because of that, she wasn't arrogant like Kaiba or some other antagonist. No, she had a good heart, and she wanted to save her brother from who knows what, and that's why she came to Duel Academy. But over time she proved she wasn't a girl, she was a proper full-on good character. And what I liked about her is that her dueling record, she has got a lot of wins. That's a good track record. I also liked her development in season 4. For starters, that she's trying to understand Jaden better ever since the incidents in season 4. However, what I liked about her is because of her relationship with Jaden then. It felt similar to Mary Poppins and Bertie. People might try to ship them together, but they're just trying to be nice friends to each other. And she despite being like a strong-willed girl, she does have a nice girl side, like trying to eat the golden sandwich and wearing nice dresses. But she is strong-willed, and she's just a pleasant girl in the end. So that's why I pick her as my number 5, since I find her very good as a character and well developed. Now for my number 4 character is Chracters from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now there are a lot of female characters in Avatar that are wonderful. You have Toph, you have Korra, you have Asami, you have a lot of characters. But let's talk about the first one, Chracters. Now what I liked about Chracters was because she was evidence of a strong-willed character. When she was very little, her mother was killed by a Fire Nation character who was just very horrible. Ever since then, she tried to fill in her mother's shoes by looking after her brother and grandmother. But then one day she and her brother found the Aang trapped in the ice cube. After freeing him, they went on a journey to the Northern Water Tribe to learn from the best masters. Yeah, she dealt with some sexism, but then again, it's a kids show. They're going to try to use all the dramatic plot lines. But over time, we kind of see her develop more as a character. Yes, like Alexis, she's a girl, but she had to learn from the battlefield. I mean, she saw sweet and nice, but over time she learned the harsh realities of the world, such as seeing how some corruptions in the Earth Nation, having to deal with Suku's betrayal, and even meeting the killer of her mother. Now that was big, since that killer had been on her mind since she was a child. And when she finally confronted the killer, she saw he was just a dull-out old man who was completely useless now. She didn't forgive him, however, she realized the guy just wasn't worth his time. So she did the most generous thing and let him off the hook. However, she realized the guy was just worthless. She's a very skilled warrior and she does have a good side for everyone. She does care for people and she can get angry, not comedic angry, but like proper emotionally angry if you push her wrong buttons. And so that's why I like Chracters number 4, because I found her very developed. I think her animation was good and her character was very nicely done. So she's number 4. Now for number 3, Leia from Star Wars. Now Leia is the daughter of Darth Vader and Padme Amidala, and was raised by Bail Organa on Alderaan. At first, you think she's going to be the stereotypical damsel in distress, but no, she's not. She's only that in the first movie. In the other media, she's a very good developed character. Like she saw her planet be completely destroyed by her enemies. She's seen the harshness of war, how horrible it can be. She's a general. She's a captain. She's been everything. I mean, in some comics, she's even had a lightsaber duel with Darth Vader, and I found that amazing because that's before she found out he was her father. What else I like about her? I liked her actor Carrie Fisher. At the time, she was very good. I liked how she delicated her words, pronounced them. I also love her hairstyles. They were very cool. I also liked her relationship with Captain Solo. It felt human. It felt understandable. It was believable. I mean, I really am interested to know what her relationship with her son is, since apparently it's one of the things attributed to him going to the dark side. I also loved it in episode 7, but then again I loved a lot of things in episode 7. I liked how she aged, I liked how she got the gist of things, and I liked how she became a new mentor to this new cast. So as my number 3 character, Princess Leia, you keep on shooting. So now for my second favorite female character, Anne of Green Gables, Anne Shirley. Now you probably don't know Anne of Green Gables since it's better known for its book series and hasn't had much movies, but let's talk about Sweet Anne. Anne was an orphan child in 1860s Canada who was orphaned to this horrible family who always misused her, until one day her foster father had a heart attack and due to keep up money she was placed in an orphanage. But one day a man named Matthew adopted her when essentially he wanted to adopt a boy for manual labor. However, he just fell in love with Anne and wanted her to be his daughter. And slowly Anne started to develop relationships with different characters, such as Matthew's sister, whatever I forgot her name was, and her best friend Diane, and her future husband Gilbert. Oh wait, I remember what her sister was called, Matilda, I think. Yes, sorry about that. But what I liked about her was her energy. I felt I could relate a lot to this character because I felt a lot like her, being completely addicted to fiction, having a love for the fantasy worlds, and sometimes talking strange. I mean, look at me, look what I look like. I wouldn't be on this channel if I wasn't like her. That's what I like, because I just liked how determined she was and at the same time how sweet she can be. Anne of Green Gables is one of my favorite books, and she's probably one of my favorite female fictional characters, and I really love her as a character. My mum loves her, and I think she's a very wonderful character. That's why she's my number 2 character, because I could honestly relate to her. Now for some honorable mentions. Kagome and Sango from Inuyasha, Kira from Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Rei from Star Wars, Will from Yu-Gi-Oh! Sexo, and Casey from Pokemon. And now for my number 1 favorite fictional character, is Sora from Digimon. Now, there's a lot of female Digimon characters which are fan favorites, such as Kairi and Rika, but I would like to talk about Sora. Granted, it's hard to say if she's developed or not, but what I liked about her was that I felt this kind of motherly presence from her. I liked her character because I understand her issues. She had some issues with her mother because her mother was afraid she would get injured at a football tournament, but Sora wanted to still go. I could understand that because that's some kind of relationships kids have with their parents, since the child wants to do some other things, but the parent wants to protect them. That doesn't make them a bad parent. If anything, that makes them a good parent because they care about their child so much they want to protect them no matter what happens. What I liked about Sora is because I've kind of considered her the second leader. She was kind of like the counselor for the whole group, trying to talk everyone out of their problems, trying to keep the team motivated, trying to make sure everyone was okay. But in the reality, she was still facing some of her own demons, such as worried her crest will never glow. Sora is to me one of the fantastic characters ever, showing about children, about growing up, dealing with parent issues, and just being such a nice character, filling in all the traits. She's one of my favorite characters, and I think she and Beelmon are very good together, since Beelmon can work off her and help her develop more. So that's my favorite top 5 female characters. If you have your own list, please leave it in the comment section, and until then, I'll let you be.